Beloved ones, you stand this day before the doorway of transformation. You stand on the cusp of freedom. You stand in the midst of an awakening of consciousness and love that is the shift to the living light into the world of only love. This doorway in front of you, which you stand, dear one, this doorway is your heart. I must say to you that as you listen, let your heart be the vehicle of your understanding, because now we fly free of the limited mind. When you think of your heart, you often think of your heart chakra, which in itself seems a wonder compared to the physical. Yet I am leading you to a new experience of your heart, beloved ones, that is so vast it is beyond the mind's comprehension. Yet I promise you that you know this well. As you leap through the doorway of your heart, as you choose your heart as the center of your reality, then everything changes because you enter the vortex of love and you become a universal citizen and all creation opens to you. So rather than considering your heart as related to the physical vehicle, consider your heart as the center of all that is. In the center of your true heart is the point of light that is the very act of creation itself, from which comes the explosion of love and its dance in eternal relationship with life, with consciousness. These are expressed as a twin flame vehicle, or the two forces of the heart of God. It is from this point that moves into this movement of infinity that all streams of life become fully conscious, fully loved, interactive, and connected to the living wholeness I am. Thus is your heart the center of all dimensions. Your heart is the center of the living matrix, and your heart is the expression of creation itself, the vehicle through which I love all that is. Thus, beloved ones, you begin to see what doorway it is you stand before. Your heart gives you access instantly into the living whole, the endless hologram, the perfect expression of all that I am in relationship and love. We make yet another shift, moving from the perception of human beings, looking at the heart and attempting to imagine what it really is that I am saying. And together we leap to the true reality in which every breath is interconnected with every other aspect of the living whole, where the sparkling particles of light speak to your heart of everything, and you are immediately and ever aware in full and glorious communion with all that lives within, the living whole of God I am. Thus do you become the living miracle, the center of all dimensions, the perfect place of peace from which life begins, and you are the movement of creation being born again now. We have named this your twin flame heart, and yet, so often from the ego mind's perspective, you see this as the spirit of another human being making love with you in the realms of God. But oh, you are far, far, far more than this. As you now access this miracle of living heart of God that you are, you become fully co-creative. You can use the power of creation alive within you to become all things, to create all things, to have relationship with all life, and to be the living hearts that make manifest the dance of creation in its wholeness and in its relationship. As you step through this doorway of your heart, you become the communion with me. You become every aspect of all I am, completely alive, totally free, completely absorbed into the glorious light and fully expressing the relationship of love. When this shift becomes real to you, then instantly you have access to the truth of life that is the world, and your heart becomes the center of the creative wholeness, standing here as this matrix, this experiment. Your choice becomes the instant release of all that disguise the truth of the heart of God you share with each other being currently perceiving themselves. There comes now many breakthroughs in consciousness and the merging of heaven and earth through the exciting doorway of human hearts, and consciousness providing the vehicles. Be they meditation or be it physics, it all reveals the same thing, that you are the miracle and all life is alive, and every part of this glorious hologram is relationship with me, the Creator, the impetus behind the power of life that are at once one and two forces. It is this shift in recognition of who you are and what your heart is that will recreate the world dramatically and perfectly at just the right time. Many of you, countless numbers, have called to me again and again while looking outward at the world and all its chaos, and have said to me, God, by whatever name you call me, how can we possibly change this in time? if there really is a transformation before us. But now you begin to get the sense of the potential and the glorious creative heart of God you are, and how in one moment you can live free of every limited perception. As this freedom spreads through the unseen ties between all human beings, suddenly the links are restored and your heart is fully open. The great heart of God you are is remembered, accepted, and the living flow of love comes forth to release the world from its bondage of limited choice and perception. So I call you through the doorway of your heart into a background, foreground shift beyond your imagining. If right now you will let me in, I will bring your heart this touch of freedom and the truth of all I am alive within it, that you might taste all you really are, and you might see the living field of energy that is that omnidimensional matrix of life and twin flame dance of creative love that is the center and the truth of your being, married always to your consciousness and ever co-creating life with me. Though the mind is simply overwhelmed in attempting to understand this and to grasp how we can be in such a relationship, you and I, and yet be an indivisible eternal wholeness, or how you can be the twin flame heart of God and yet be the living Spirit's breath, the fuse in the all and completely unified with everything. Yes, dearest one, your heart understands. As you shift to your heart for your perceiving, this will become clear to you, and that which we have named, that sign of infinity that represents the twin heart flame, reveals itself to you as the center of the hologram, the breath of life, the focus point of all that is with every realm of consciousness and every glorious movement of love spreading forth from this, revealing all the rich and endless possibilities that come forth from the center of your heart. Leap through the doorway of freedom. Rejoice in the shift of the ages, and once again remember that this shift is within you, and it is from the limited mind to the heart's true perception and the awakening to all that is. So we come to a time to leave behind your definitions of what a twin flame is, of what you want to be, and to step out of your perception of yourself as a singular being, to bathe in the living ocean of life I am, that you might feel life exploding forth in every way through every aspect of creation, right from the center of your being, the center of which is your heart. So the heart-centered life is an awakening to the love that is creation, that is the love we share with every eternal and endless moment. You are the breath I breathe. I am your exhalation of love, and the heartbeat within you is a twin flame engine of conscious life, of moving love, of spiral after spiral of expansion, and ever greater awareness and giving. That which from the world looks like the infinity sign appears to be a torus, can be felt and measured electrically as your heart's energy field and the magnetic power of love entrainment. All becomes a silence when the understanding of heart perception truly takes you beyond the boundaries of being human into the glory of dancing forth new life as co-creator with me, as the creator heart of the living hologram, as the center of all dimensions and all perceiving, as the vehicle for the very moment of creation itself to make itself known in a trillion billion ways, as that which I love through my heart, which is you, alive in my being. Yet I must say to you, beloved ones, please remember that as science seems to capture these energies and to begin to name them in exciting ways, the most important message to you is this: do not allow the mind to filter me out. Do not allow the ego to claim this field and to make you feel that there is no God, that there is only particles and energies. Precious ones, my own beloved, the heart that beats within me, you must know that you are made to be the conscious heart of this all-inclusive love that is my being, and to ever be alive in this relationship that you might be aligned with your true identity, that is giving love, that is sharing life, for that is the miracle of creation itself. Otherwise, I would simply be and nothing more. I am alive in countless ways. I am dimensions of consciousness unending. I am love that sees itself and knows this precious gift of loving and being loved by the heart within me. Thus shall you love your creation as well, and love every waveform and particle of conscious life within that energy field of your twin flame heart, that living toroid, that center of all creation. Just as I am loving you and blazing forth your truth endlessly, So you must be the heart's attunement, the great entrainment of all that lives within your vast and glorious energy field, as the consciousness of the moment of creation, and this, as you say, is big. First you will feel the resonance of timeless joy and endless power, and then you will feel the endless excitement of being fully alive as co-creator, as the conscious center of the omniverse. Then you will find that your human life and all of its limited perception begins to receive as the heart comes in more and more fully as the center of your awareness. Pretty soon you cannot bring in those old ways you have seen the world, for the field of resonance of the heart of God becomes the force of your heart and consciousness, and nothing of duality can intrude upon it. Truly quite the opposite. Whenever you are fully alive and open the heart's resonance, your heart will effortlessly align the world with the truth of the only love and the force of giving, which is the movement of true creation. Are you ready for magic, for miracles? If you say yes, prepare to fly and to find the feel of the human heart exploding this new awareness so quickly that your head will spin, as you say, and so powerful that you become the magnet for the shift in every human consciousness until love is the only symbol that is made manifest through all of it, and the world becomes a place of stunning beauty and your life live of the heart unlimited. Amen.